So, where do I begin? I guess the best way to begin is just to start from the beginning. My name is Tanika Poole. My pen name, because I am a published author, is Author Tanika Latrice. That's what I write under. I have a published book, No More Secrets: The Truth Behind Her Smile, which basically tells my story of abuse from the actually beginning at childhood, all the way up into a few years ago. So my story started, first of all, when people think of domestic violence, the problem is they automatically assume that domestic violence means that the abuse was between you and a romantic partner, which is not true. They automatically assume that domestic abuse, I'm going to say that, not violence, domestic abuse is physical, which is not true. And I am definitely the poster child for that because every type of abuse you can think of, I've experienced. So it started with the child abuse when I was young with my mom. My mom was my abuser to this day. She still doesn't see it as being as abuse. Um, our relationship is still real rocky to this day, and I'm almost 42. I'm 41, and she is still real rocky. She is delusional, like she can't take accountability or responsibility for anything that she did when I was younger. I can remember as young as 3, her doing what she called was whooping, but her whoopings were something on a whole nother level. I don't know no 3-year-olds who you trying to subdue them so that they don't move when you're getting whooped, and you putting your knees in their throat or choking them up like this. Like it was, yeah, it was something serious with her. From there, what people don't realize is when you grow up being abused or witnessing abuse, you are that much more susceptible to either becoming an abuser or being abused, when you're an adult. And that's actually what happened to me. Um, so from there, um, her boyfriend at the time molested me, told her about it, went to the police station, all that. Guess what? She didn't believe me and she showed up to court on his behalf. And to this day, they are the best of friends. Funny, huh? Um, from there, it kind of opened up the door to, you know, the mental abuse, the verbal abuse, the physical abuse with boyfriends in my teenage years, all the way up into my first marriage, the verbal abuse, the mental abuse, narcissistic abuse, definitely physical abuse. It was the abuse in that one was serious, and people assume because I wasn't that type of female where, oh, he hit me, I'm just gonna cower and just let him. No, it wasn't like that. I'm from Chicago, so yeah, I was gonna give him as good as he was giving me. Nigga, you hit me, I'm gonna hit you back. It is not gonna go like that. But it was definitely kind of crazy with that. I stabbed him 7 times before. I had a black eye. I had a dislocated shoulder. I had a fractured arm before. I mean, we used to battle like we was some niggas on the street. I mean, we be battling. So that was my first marriage. Left him, fled here to Florida to kind of get out of that because I came to realization as long as I was still in the same city with this man, I wasn't gonna leave him. I wasn't gonna leave. I wasn't strong enough to let him go, so I had to get like 1,200 miles away from him to finally leave. Met my second husband. Seemed like a knight in shining armor. Definitely wasn't true. Narcissistic abuse, mental abuse through the cheating and all the mind games and manipulation that he would play. And then it came out that he had molested all 3 of my daughters, which was like devastating because to this day, My kids still ain't bounced back. They grown, still trying to figure life out and stand on their own 2 feet. That like had a it really messed with them. So they're still dealing with the remnants of that right now. Me basically put me into almost a mental breakdown. I had already dealt with depression and suicidal thoughts from, dealing with my mom not believing me with what happened and the abuse I suffered and, the narcissistic tendencies and characteristics that she has. I was already always dealing with depression and anxiety and suicidal thoughts and stuff like that. But that like took me way into the deep end. So that almost mental break led me to seek some therapy, some serious prayer, learn to love Tanika, learn to love what I see, even looking rough coming from the beach today, hair not, combed, no makeup or nothing, just some clear lip gloss. I love me. And it took a long time to finally get to that point, like a long time to finally get to that point. I launched my nonprofit organization, Bruised But Not Destroyed. We actually provide resources to those impacted by domestic violence. Through the nonprofit, we also have BB&D housing. We provide emergency and transitional housing. Try to actually get to the root cause of, like, say, if they don't have job skills, they don't have any life skills, they don't know anything about financial literacy. Try to teach them those things so that once they leave our program, they can provide for themselves and not have to rely on their abuser and get back into one of those situations. Because a lot of times people stay in those situations because they don't have any resources to provide for themselves. Where I just got married in February. So February 27th, I just got married. Launched our thrift store in January. So life is completely different. I didn't see it now. I mean, I didn't see it then, but I see it now. My pain and everything that I endured prepared me for this moment in my life. My pain produced my purpose. I went through all of that for this very moment in time so that I can help people who have been in my situation, who are going through my situation, or to help them avoid my situation altogether. So that's a little bit about me.